Alright, so I'm going to do a little instructional video on my favorite exercises for chest development. And I think I've always naturally, had really good posture. I've always worked at that. And when I started studying fitness and bodybuilding, sports medicine, exercise science back in my teens, I always looked at the guys that had big chests and how straight they were. They walked around, They kept their back straight, they kept their shoulders squared back, they were confident. And that's the first thing to me you need for chest development is good posture. So gravity will constrict and shorten the pecs, and we don't want that. We want to be strong and elongated. You're not going to get a full chest muscle or pectoralis muscle contraction if your pecs are already short when you start training. So a few things you can do for that is just start to work a little bit more on elongating the pecs throughout the day, sitting, standing, throw your arms back behind you, throw your arms out to the side, throw your arms overhead. You're going to stretch, the three angles of the pec there, low, middle, and upper fibers just by those stretches. You want to have elongation, but you also want to have the strength to keep your shoulder blades back. So that way, your scapulothoracic joints or lack of joints, all you have is muscles that keep the shoulder blades back there. They're the ones that are opening your chest up naturally, but you don't have to think about stretching the chest so much versus, the shoulder blades keeping the chest elongated naturally, So that's the first thing we want to talk about with that. The other thing is, when you're doing each repetition, keep yourself squared back like that too. So, to me, you don't really want to be doing cable flies leaning over like this. You want to be doing cable flies like this, where your thoracic and your upper back, thoracic spine and upper back are straight, and you get that full chest contraction, a nice long, open, broad pec muscle, and chest cavity. So that's kind of, what to think about with that. Specific exercises. Standing and seated dips, so we talked about that. So basically, not so much parallel bars or a dip platform, which are good, but there are a lot of strain on your shoulders, I think your spine in general, if you don't support yourself right. Think about a seated tricep machine, where you're sitting and you're working the tris. So you think everybody's sitting there doing tris like this. You're going to do the tricep machine working on the length of those pecs, lengthen those pecs and expand them and then contract them down. And then you can do the same thing standing if you could straddle that machine and have your legs above the seat. So sitting you'd be down here, standing you could work a little more in the end range and still keep that chest nice and open. And if you can't do that, there's got to be a machine in the gym where you could find where you could do a standing version of a press down like that. So those are top 5 for me. Alright, so I just want to say this the way that we talked about it, Joe. Alright, so we're thinking pullovers. So dumbbell pullovers, again, that's going to kind of develop the nice striation between the two sides of the pecs. So you're laying on your back on the bench and you got maybe a 30-40 pound dumbbell and you're raising that dumbbell up overhead with the elbows bent. You want to keep the elbows bent, less strain on the shoulders. Expand that, chest cavity and contract all the way up and all the way down, squeezing the pecs all the way back down. So that's the dumbbell lay on the back. There are also machines in the gym, or even a cable stack, like a cable cross machine where you could have a bar up here like a tricep bar, and then just work on coming from the top down across like that. I would like that first. So a little tricep bar that you would do this with and pulling it down like that. Or the machines where you're sitting and they may be called pullovers and you're just working this. So you have a big bar coming across, grab that bar and squeeze down this way. So that's the opening, nice lengthening contraction of the pecs and rib cage, and then close it back down. So that's that one. Alright, so then we said seated chest press first. So seated chest press, 5 times better than a bench press to me. Less strain on the shoulder joints, less strain on all that weight coming down, benching, just I don't know, that's a power move, I'm just not a fan. Chest press on an Nautilus machine or any kind of chest press machine you have in the gym, basic. Build the strength, build the size, you know, that's your chest press. Low uppercuts with 2 hands we talked about. So that would be on with dumbbells, or I guess it had to be with dumbbells with the low one. So 2 dumbbells in your hands, maybe like 20s, and then coming across like this, flexing your chest. So we're keeping everything squared and we're squeezing the top. And then we said, oh, 1 second, come on phone. Alright, then we said uppercut dumbbell raises again. So the low dumbbells, I like the doubles. This is just stuff I've done, my chest's always done well. And then the single high ones we talked about. So single arm high dumbbell raises. Alright, so there's that one there. That one's, you know, gonna get your shoulder, all the muscles on the front of the arm and shoulder and upper chest. So I like that one. And then after that we said cable crossovers. You know, that'd be on that cable machine where you have 1 cable on each coming down across. That's a lot of strain on the shoulders. If you really want to try to rip up a little bit more, you can try that for a couple sets, throw that in there. I think the other one's more important. So that's about it, bud. So that'd be, you know, 3 sets of each, 2 to 3 days a week. You know, do it with good form. You lose your form, that's it. Stop the set, rest, re-educate your form again, go back into it. Focus on elongating. You could walk on the treadmill backwards before you did chest. So walking backwards will get you nice and long and open. If you've been doing this all day over a cash register or whatever, walk backwards and get that spine nice and straight, get that back straight, and then your chest will be open too. Or just do some of those stretches we talked about. Love you, thanks.